test. This is a you didn't hear. Yeah, okay. Hello, fellow members of Drama 2. Today, I come to give you my review on She Kills Monsters, the play that we just read. Now, this show holds a very special place in my heart, but we don't have time to get sappy right now. I got a whole play to get through in 3 minutes. Let me get my glasses and my handy-dandy notes. Athens, Ohio, 1995. There are two sisters, Agnes and Tilly Evans. Agnes is a stereotypical teenage girl, high school senior, cheerleader, dating a football player, yada yada yada. You get it. Now, Tilly, on the other hand, is still in middle school, obsessed with D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, and is a complete tomboy. May or may not be a lesbian, but I'm getting ahead of myself. One day, Agnes wishes she didn't have such a geeky sister, and not soon after she says that, Tilly gets hit by a car and dies. Agnes, completely devastated, goes to hunt down one of Tilly's closest friends, Chuck, to help her find out the truth about who her sister really was. Chuck and Agnes play the D&D game that Tilly created, and every time they play, Agnes meets her sister's avatar in the game, which is the closest that she'll ever get to interacting with Tilly, her little sister, again. Along this journey, they bump into Lilith, the sexy demon queen with very minimal clothes, Calliope, the sexy dark elf, also with very minimal clothes, and Orcus, the lazy demon overlord of the underworld. Now, Orcus traded Tilly's soul for a badass TV, in his words. In order to beat the game, they have to beat the bosses and scary dragons to get Tilly's soul back. Since Agnes is spending all of her time playing D&D with Chuck, her boyfriend Miles and her best friend Vera get worried. Miles gets the total wrong idea and goes to confront Agnes about spending all of her time with Chuck. They tell him that it's just D&D. Relieved, he joins the journey as well, but then dies in the game very quickly. Along the way, they fight Farah, a small homicidal fairy, Evil Gabby, and Evil Tina, winged cheerleaders with fangs who are based off of Tilly's real-life bullies, and shapeshifter bosses. You can cough, Jordan. I'm gonna end that part here. One of them even disguises... What, Jordan? One of them even disguises themselves as Miles, Agnes's boyfriend, and is forced to kill him. As the play goes on, Agnes and Chuck finds out that the game is actually Tilly's diary. Knowing this, Agnes goes back to the real world to find Vera for comfort. Chuck finds Agnes and takes her to meet Tilly's friends in real life. She meets Ronnie, Orcus, Kelly, Calliope, and Lily, Lilith. We learn that they all have real-life problems that Tilly managed to take away in this game. Feeling relieved that she got to know her sister more through this game and her friends in real life, she goes back to achieve Tilly's soul in the game. Agnes defeats this dragon by herself and gets Tilly's soul back. Agnes and Tilly have their first real moment together since her death. Tilly wants to know if Agnes had fun, since that was the whole point of the game. She nods her head in silence as the two sisters part once again. Now, in my opinion, this play was very well written. It had just the right amount of dark humor, plot and character conflict, and a very attention-grabbing story. The only thing I felt like it was missing was a bit more conflict in Agnes's character. Now, hear me out. Everything was spot on, except for the fact that she did wish for a less geeky sister, and then her sister dies. Does it ever cross her mind that maybe it's her fault that she died? That if she had never said and/or wished that, her sister would still be alive today? That would have created even more suspense and more dark conflict that I think the readers would enjoy. Not going to lie, Steve was my favorite character, and Chuck coming in very close second. Oh wow, look at that, time's almost up. Alright, here's a very sped up version of the themes in She Kills Monsters. This one-act play deals with staying young, hence the majority of how the show takes place in D&D, and just having fun, coping with loss through comedy, all the dark humor used by Agnes, and last but definitely not least, family relationships. Not just Agnes dealing with the fact that she lost her little sister, but now living with the fact that she never really knew or tried to get to know her at all. That is some deep stuff. Overall, I love this story. Thank you, Miss Lee, for having us read it. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go learn how to play Dungeons and Dragons. Alright, well, here's a very I said a very. Alright, here's a very I said
Saying yeah, you
Okay, alright, well, here's a very I'm gonna lick you! Oh my god! Very sped up version.
Oh my god! There is literally so everywhere!
Hello, fellow members of Let me get my spectacles. That's part of the scene, Jordan.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, just well.
End it!